AV in your ears, that's Ambush Being, giving you this audio visual down the most interesting street in the world. With my boy Steve, Fascination Street, you already know, let's get it. When you whip in the Fascination Street, what do you...
This is Aaron Perrino from the Shelia Divine, and you're listening to the Fascination Street podcast.
AV in your ears, that's Ambush Being, giving you this audio visual down the most interesting street in the world. With my boy Steve, Fascination Street, you already know, let's get it. When you whip in the Fascination Street, what do you...
Welcome back, Streetwalkers. This episode is with Aaron Perrino, the singer and songwriter best known for the band The Shelia Divine. You may also know him from Dear Leader and Aaron and the Lord. In this episode, we talk about what it was like to go from a struggling 3-person musical act to being signed by an independent music label and then going on tours, touring with the likes of Morrissey and European tours. The Shelia Divine has a huge following in Belgium. We talk about why that is and some of the hiccups along the way to becoming a world-famous super rock star. We also talk about the difficulties of trying to make it in the music business and discovering how frickin' expensive it turns out to be. It turns out a lot of people have to get paid before you get paid. Special thanks to previous guest John Graziano, Graz Makes, for making this episode happen. I appreciate you, Graz. You are the man. The Shelia Divine and Aaron Perrino have been putting out music for over 20 years. And they have a new album that just came out on Halloween of 2024. It is called I Am the Darkness, We Are the Light. And Aaron lets me play one of his favorite tracks off that album. It is called Lilydale, and he has a great story behind it. Aaron tells me about his upcoming plans to tour this new record, and apparently there's already a couple of videos out for it, so check those out on their YouTube channel, The Shelia Divine. There will be vinyl records and merch and t-shirts and all of the things, so check him out at The Shelia Divine on Bandcamp. And also, I asked him if I can play my favorite Shelia Divine song, and he says yes. It is one of the first songs that they ever recorded. It is called Like a Criminal, and I think you're going to dig it as well. The Shelia Divine performs locally around the Boston area, sometimes up into New York. And again, in May, they're going to be touring all across Europe, including Belgium and I believe Italy. So if you're out there, check them out. Go to The Shelia Divine on Instagram and you can find out tour dates, new music releases, all the good stuff. And this is my conversation with the lead singer and songwriter for The Shelia Divine, Dear Leader, and Aaron and the Lord, Aaron Perrino.
Prepare to be fascinated. Prepare to be fascinated. Prepare to be fascinated.
Welcome to Fascination Street Podcast, Aaron Perrino. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I just did some grocery shopping. Feeling great.
Oh, cool. What'd you get?
Got some oysters because at Whole Foods, they're $1 oysters on Fridays.
Oh, and you are far, far east, right? Where are you?
Well, I'm in Marblehead, but yeah, Boston.
Marblehead's not a real thing, but
yeah.
Let's talk about you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Aaron Perrino from The Shelia Divine and Dear Leader and some other things. We're going to get to that later. But first, Aaron, what I like to do is I like to start from the beginning. It helps us understand how the guests got from where they were to where they are. So where were you born and raised, man? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Buffalo, New York. Well, a suburb of Buffalo. The town from all the 80s movies. John Hughes films.
No, hold on. All the John Hughes films were...
Those were in Chicago. But,
Shermer High School, Shermer, Illinois. Come on now.
But very similar.
Okay, so real quick, you're not the first, believe it or not, guest that I've had from Buffalo.
Oh, really?
Are you familiar with a sports dynasty family with the last name Gronkowski?
Oh, you had the Gronks on?
Well, I just had one of them on.
Nice.
Chris. He played for the Cowboys and he played for somebody else, and he has so many companies, it's insane. But
cool.
He told me what it was like for him growing up in Buffalo. What was it like for you, man? Y'all are different, I'm guessing.
Yeah, for sure. There's a town next to mine called Lackawanna. It's where Bethlehem Steel was, and it's a completely abandoned, like for 5 miles of just, it's like dystopian.
Really? Still?
You still, yeah. I mean, they think because the land, wouldn't pass EPA stuff. But yeah, it's just sort of gray Batman Gotham City sort of thing that has sort of permeates your soul.
Why aren't they filming movies there? That sounds amazing.
They do actually.
Oh, okay, great.
They do actually. Yeah. My one of my best friends runs the film program for the government in Buffalo.
Oh, cool.
But anyway, like they did the Guillermo del Toro, one of his last films was shot in Buffalo. So you have that, and then you have like the Buffalo Bills who lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
Okay, look, I know that you have a lot of pain with the Buffalo Bills, but here's one thing that you're going to have over me. My whole life, I was a huge fan of the Houston Oilers.
Wow.
And their greatest quarterback for them, and in my opinion of all time, was Warren Moon.
I remember him. We came back and won.
You guys came back from it was something insane.
I remember that game.
27-3, and you guys came back and won. So, fuck your Bills.
Yeah. Well, now that I've lived in Boston for so long, I lived all through the Tom Brady years. So
yeah, you ended up winning that one.
Yeah, for sure.
We actually were introduced by, I'm going to go ahead and say, mutual friend and previous guest, Emmy Award winner, John Graziano. Graz makes, if you will.
That's right.
I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Graz. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Sure.
You're growing up in Buffalo. It's not a huge music town, is it?
Buffalo has the Goo Goo Dolls and a Snapcase. Those are our two.
Nobody's ever heard of Snapcase, but
it's a hardcore band.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, I think in Cannibal Corpse. I think.
Oh, okay. All right, rad.
Oh, Rick James.
Rick James? Really?
Yeah. Goo Goo Dolls and Rick James are our like 2 biggest exports.
Yeah, you're going to want to stop talking about Rick James. That guy's problematic. So growing up in that, I'm going to call it a music desert, what drew you to music? Because you have been in music for a long, long time. How did you get started? How did you find music?
I mean, my mom was really had a good vinyl collection and was always into it. So started from that, watching Billy Idol on MTV. Rebel Yell was probably my first record. And then I met some kids in high school. My best friend, Brent, at the time, like he was like this Ferris Bueller meets Cameron Fry character who had like the latest like synthesizer and like programming and stuff. And we were really into like New Order. So we started just making stuff in his bedroom. And then we met a drummer and then we started a band.
Roughly what decade was this?
Like 1990, 89, 90, something like that.
Is when you were in high school?
Yeah.
You're older than me.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you look like you're 25 years younger than me.
It's all the occult stuff I do. So
yeah, it's the blood of virgins. I get it. Okay, so you started this band in high school. What was that band called?
We were called BPM, Beats Per Minute.
All right, that's all the time we have for you. Thank you, guys. Oh my gosh.
We were like, it was like the era of like Happy Mondays and all the like Manchester scene stuff. So that was like the vibe like we were going for.
I love it. I love it. What kind of music was it?
Sort of Brit poppy, dancey keyboard music.
Nice. Why?
That was what I was into at the time. That was what they played on 120 Minutes. So
that makes sense.
We didn't know what we were doing. So that was just like me learning. Then I decided I wanted to like write my own songs.
Okay, I'm really curious about that. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to do that a lot.
That's fine.
Your songwriting is acclaimed
by 5 people, but yeah, maybe
5 of the most important people in the world. Now, I've listened to a lot of interviews and I've spoken to a few people, and every single one of them really, really enjoys your songwriting. I know you're friends with Nate from Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Yeah.
Well, I'm friendly with Dickie Barrett from the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and I asked him, because I knew we were going to be speaking today, and I said, hey man, give me the dirt on Aaron, like give me some stories. And he said, I didn't really know Aaron that well, but man, I love their music, and that dude can write. So
Well, that's nice.
That's coming from a great songwriter, I think, as well. So tell me, when did you find songwriting? How did you know that you could string two sentences together?
I don't know. Because I never took a guitar lesson. I basically just bought a little chord book, and this is before YouTube and whatnot, and taught myself how to play guitar. And then I just started, writing songs. I bought a 4-track recorder. It was just in me. I don't know. I definitely had a lot of anxiety and was a super shy kid. So it was just like making bedroom albums.
How about lyrically? When did you know that you were a poet?
I still don't know if I am.
Well, let me be the first to tell you, you are, my friend. You have some lyrical genius coursing through your veins.
Well, thank you so much. It really did come natural to me. I always did enjoy English class more than a math and science person. I was definitely more into literature and film and culture and all that stuff. So
Me too, but I can't write for shit.
I think a lot of it is just not being hypercritical, just making things and letting it go. That's how I started. I feel like reading some of the lyrics from when I was younger, I'm like, wow, I was really onto something that's pretty cool. But at the time, there was not a lot of thought that went into it. It was very just off the cuff.
What's the first song you wrote? What was it about? I'm sure you don't remember the words, but what was it about?
I don't even know, to be honest. Maybe a song called Impale Me or something that was supposed to be Skinny Puppy.
Oh my God, Skinny Puppy. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Teen, whatever. You start off
Teen
stupid
angst,
and then go from there.
I love that. Okay, so fast forward. You got the hell out of Buffalo because it was really cold. You were like, you know what's maybe 1 degree less cold is Boston. So I'm going to go to Boston. Why'd you go to Boston? Was it school?
After college, I went to Alaska for a short period of time.
This dude loves the portable heater industry, I guess.
Well, funny story. My uncle, he's a really interesting man. So he invited me to teach me man skills. And he's basically...
He's a grizzly hunter who lives in Alaska.
His son is John from Portugal, the Man, who's my cousin. He was a kid when I went there. And so I was playing guitar and all that, got him into music, but it was short-lived. And then I just decided to go to school in Oneonta, New York for music.
I'm so sorry that I'm interrupting you again. You can't breeze past. Why did you go to Alaska?
I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life.
So you graduated.
Yeah.
You were quote unquote done with school. And then you were like, you know what? What's your uncle's name?
Uncle John, yeah.
Uncle John, what should I do?
So he was going to open a bed and breakfast. And he, this guy, he does the Iditarod dog sled race, or he did do it several times. And so he was going to open this sort of destination dog place that was on the water. So I was there helping him do that.
So where in Alaska? It's a big state, the biggest.
Well, the home of Sarah Palin, Wasilla, Alaska.
Wasilla. Oh, okay.
It's right outside of Anchorage.
Okay, cool. How long were you there?
Not long, 4 months.
You were like, bro, it is cold. I'm going home.
It's you're a 20-year-old kid,
by yourself because nobody else lives in Alaska.
There's 20 men to every woman. It was just oh yeah, this is really the place for.
God, that poor woman.
Yeah. No, she has a lot to choose from. So yeah, so I went to school in Oneonta for music stuff, and then I had met the people that would form Shelia Divine at that school, and we decided to move to Boston because New York felt like it was too big of it was just that seemed overwhelming to me, and Boston seemed more just not as scary.
I have been to New York, and I will agree that it is overwhelming as hell.
Yeah.
I didn't get out much until I was an adult, and by then I was overwhelmed by everywhere I went. So I can understand why you wouldn't, as a kid, just be like, New York, I'm going to make New York my bitch.
It just seemed too crazy. So we moved to Boston because of the Pixies, Dinosaur Jr., a lot of it, Letters to Cleo, Buffalo Tom. So it was just sort of that's a music town, college town. And also my friend Brent from high school, he was living in Boston. So it was a comfortable move.
Okay, so you get to Boston and you meet up with your friend and then you make this band. Is it a 3-piece?
It's a 3-piece band. We were only a band for a few months, and I met Brian, who recorded our album. Like I was working at a smoothie place.
Hold on. I have a question about this whole experience. Am I correct that you won a $250 gift card for
Yes.
Sharper Image on the radio, and
That's
that's
right.
how your whole musical journey started?
It is actually.
Please tell that story.
Well, I mean, it was just like a radio contest or something, like listening to like the local show. And they were like, we have a Sharper Image gift card. And so I won it. And so I had it. Then I met Brian at the smoothie place I worked at. And he's like, I own a recording studio. And I'm like, I work at a smoothie place. I don't have any money. So we gave him that gift certificate and he recorded me for, a day. And we made 3 songs. And then that was our mixtape.
Was that band the Shelia Divine?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And what 3 songs was it?
Hum, Criminal, and then the song called Extraordinaries. But 2 of the biggest. Yeah.
When you say criminal, are you talking about Like a Criminal?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So we had those songs right from the get-go. And then my friend Amy, who now is like a big manager in LA, but at the time, she was a music scene person in Boston. There was a party at Cherry Disc Records, which was a small indie label in Boston. And she went to the party and put our tape in the guy who runs the label's boombox as she was leaving. And so then when they were cleaning up the party, they found the tape, listened to it, and called me, and that's how we got signed.
So she didn't hit play or anything? She just snuck that tape in there and left?
No, she just put it in there and then left. Yep.
That is genius.
Yeah. So, I mean, in some ways, it's like weird coincidences of a gift certificate, Amy doing that, and then just out of strange twist, Cherry Disc then got acquired by Roadrunner, and we were like one of the only bands on the label that actually made it to that.
So you got signed to Cherry Disc?
Yeah.
Based on that experience?
Yep.
And then when Cherry Disc sold their business to, you said Roadrunner?
Yeah.
You were one of the only ones that Roadrunner was like, oh, we'll take them.
Yep.
What happened to everybody else? They were like, nah, we're good. You can keep those.
I guess. I don't know. It's like us and the band Trona are the only 2 that made it.
How long is it from, I've got this $250 gift certificate, oh, cool, I'll record you, to now you're signed? How long was it from recording those 3 songs until you were signed to a record label?
Probably like a year total. Maybe it's less, but it all felt like a slingshot up, like it was like we did that. Then there's this big radio station, WBCM. They were like the big commercial station, and they have a battle of the bands. And like we had just gotten signed, and then we played that, and then we won that. And then that was also at the time like a really big thing. And so it was just like a nice trajectory.
So did you guys beat out Wild Stallions for that, or?
Pretty much, just barely.
I'm glad you got the reference. Do you remember the band that Wild Stallions did beat to win the Battle of the Bands?
No, I don't. No.
It was Primus.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That's hilarious. Okay, so it seems like it was pretty fast. Like you guys got signed, it seems really, really quickly.
Yeah, totally.
Felt that way?
Yeah.
Okay. Based on that early success and that slingshot, as you put it, did you think that it was going to be easy?
No. I mean, well, I didn't really think anything, to be honest. It just happened. And then, I made a lot of dumb decisions along the way, but I don't feel like there was ever any kind of master plan or anything really thought out.
So you were just along for the ride?
Kinda. I was just like, all right, they're putting out a record. This is so sweet. I mean, our first record contract was, I think it was like $30,000 or something, which at the time for like a 21-year-old kid was like, whoa, someone gave us 30 grand to like do this. That's so sick. But I mean, in reality, when you split it after the lawyer does his thing and your manager, like, it's like, here's your $5,000 for the next year.
Hey, Streetwalkers, here's a word from our sponsors. Let's get back into it.
Okay, so let's talk about the Shelia Divine. So your biggest hit, I think, commercially, was Hum.
Yep. It's really the only, and I would call it hit lightly.
Why would you say that?
I mean, it really wasn't like a hit per se, but it was our most successful song.
I don't know what you consider a hit.
Well, I mean, it doesn't even have 1 million streams on Spotify.
What do you think success means? That's a heavy question, right? Just out of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I will give you this anecdote because Nate Elbert from the Boss Tones, like he is kind of the reason I stopped wanting to do music professionally.
We'll get to your inspirations later, but let's talk about the people who got you out of music. Go ahead.
No, but I was saying like he was like, it was like after their biggest hit, he was like, I'm quitting the band. And I'm like, what? He never felt success at that level. Like he's just like, the only thing I thought was, why is Green Day selling 3 million records when we're selling 1 million records? So he went back to college. I mean, it worked out for him great. But I mean, I feel like you never feel like it's a success. You just kind of like, it's sort of an unfillable void and you're just doing it. And like, yes, my band is successful compared to some of my friends' bands who, are just like struggling to get a show, but I don't feel like it's that successful. I mean, it's just sort of, we're like a regional, some people show up at our show.
Well, all the way down here in San Antonio, Texas, I heard
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I think that means you're a success just because I have heard of you all the way down here.
That's great. Now I feel I've totally changed my mind now.
I'm going to make you a paper record to hang on your wall.
That's awesome.
We're going to jump around a little bit. So you get signed, Roadrunner Records. They give you 3 quarters and a tuna fish sandwich to sign with them.
Yep.
And then what? You guys go on tour to promote the album? Did you record more than just the 3 songs for an album?
Then we recorded like a full-on record with Brian, and we handed it in. They rejected it, gave us more money to re-record some stuff with Mike Deneen, a bigger producer in Boston, who did like Amy Mann and Fountains of Wayne and a bunch of these other bands. So then it comes out. We have a booking agent, and she gets us the Morrissey tour.
How in the hell did that happen? Because Morrissey, I mean, good God. I know you grew up listening to the Smiths just like I did, but good God, a Morrissey tour.
Yep. I don't know. She was friendly with different people and she submitted us. And then we got to like where it was like Morrissey's picking between these 4 bands and he picked us. And then I like, shit a brick. I was just like, that was at the time, this is before he was totally canceled.
I was going to say, how was the experience what was the Morrissey experience for you?
It's really exactly what you would expect it to be. I mean, his band was really great, guys, super nice. Everyone on his team was nice, but he traveled separately from like the band and he had like assistants, and we were told like, if you see him, don't approach him unless he approaches you. Don't even look his way, whatever. No meat on the premises, all that stuff.
I heard a story once where he was scheduled to play somewhere and he rolled up like in his bus or whatever, and he looked at the marquee and his name was spelled wrong and he just went home.
Yeah, I believe it. Our first show was in Pittsburgh, so that's like an 11-hour drive. We drove there and he canceled the show. And the next show was in Boston. So we drove back home. It was like,
are you serious?
Yeah. So he wasn't feeling well. It's just part of the vibe. So, I was already like, oh God, this guy. So, I'm cursing him. But like one of the last shows, he like came in our dressing room, like, hello, I'm Morrissey. And he had like the deepest, bluest eyes. It was like meeting Elvis. And I was like, oh my God, it was great. So,
I'm sure he also felt like you were meeting Elvis.
It was still amazing, to get to see him play that many times.
How many shows do you have any idea how many shows you played?
It was like 10 or something like that. So
like a regional tour?
Yeah, pretty much like an East Coasty type thing. So it was awesome.
What did you take from it? What did you learn from it, touring with the big boy like that?
Well, we made $200 a night.
Between the 3 of you?
Yes.
That you then got to split with all of your people?
Yeah. And the crowd, when you play, they would be like, shut up, we want Morrissey. So I feel like it was good stage work, just as far as like people not wanting to see you and then trying to win them over. But I will say, like, I have fans today that we got from that tour, like that are still like huge diehard fan.
You have fans. You know what that means? It means you're successful.
A few of them. But yeah, we have a few that saw us on that tour. So I don't know. It was cool. That was the start of it. And then we did a bunch of touring.
I think that I heard that you're big in Boston, but you're big somewhere else on the other side of the world, Belgium.
Yeah, Belgium.
How? And also, why don't you live in Belgium?
I did. I moved there for a short period of time.
I would too.
It didn't work out, but I've been to Belgium like 45 times. So I love the country. I have a lot of friends there. The reason we were big in Belgium was Roadrunner, the label head in Belgium, loved our record and basically single-handedly, his name is Stef de Vos, he got it on the radio. And, in Europe, all the radio stations are government run. So if you're on the radio, you're on in the whole country, like, BBC, like whatever. So we were basically, had a bunch of hits there. And then Belgian bands they're a different breed. They go to festivals like nobody's business.
Did you play festivals in Belgium?
Yeah, a bunch. And we still do.
I want to talk about what had happened. What had happened with the Shelia Divine?
What do you mean?
Well, there's a thing that happened in Milwaukee. I would say that I was in the audience, but I wasn't either one of those two people that were in the audience.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me what happened, man.
Jim and I had a fake fight on stage. I wouldn't call it a real fight. We had just done a European tour where we lost a bunch of money. We were just touring our asses off, and you could feel it sort of going, meow. We weren't on Roadrunner anymore. We got dropped. And so just really frustration of, it's really hard to do music unless you're in that 1% of bands that have the full thing. It really is a struggle. That's why you see so many bands tapping out for mental health reasons. And this is before all that, but it's, touring with a bunch of people in a van and all sharing the same space. It's cool when you're 20 and the first few times, but the 9th time around, it's not so fun.
You got to a level of success where you guys were touring and playing, but you're not playing Madison Square Garden. You're playing theaters, or you're playing smaller clubs?
No, we were playing the small bars. It was play to 50 people here. A good night, it's 200. But at that time, you'd come home from tour and you'd have $600, And you'd be like, what am I going to, I guess I'll go out on tour again. It's really hard to make ends meet.
Did you have any idea when you started all of this music business, did you have any idea how much money it takes just to keep the wheels rolling?
No, of course not. I mean, if you wanted a bus, my friends who have a bus, it's I don't even know what the price is in my mind, but it's $2,000 a day for the bus. And then you got to hire the bus driver. And then if you have road crew and do the math on that times whatever. And if you're the opening band, not the headliner, you're making $500 these days if you're lucky. So it doesn't work. You either need tour support or you need to sell a hell of a lot of merch.
Did you guys sell a hell of a lot of merch?
No, definitely not. I was terrible with that.
That's interesting considering your current line of work.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long had you guys been together and touring before that fateful night in Milwaukee?
It was 99 to 2002 was the sort of arc of that. So 4 years of solid doing it.
So it was 4 straight years of touring. That was your job.
That was my job, yeah.
Okay. And then you guys had a sort of a fake fight, but it kind of made the other dude who wasn't even in the fight go, you clowns are driving me crazy.
Yeah. And he was just I don't want to do this anymore. I mean, I'm friends with Colin now. And he moved to LA, went to film school, but then he became the CEO or whatever, the president of Crunchyroll.
What the fuck is Crunchyroll? I don't know what that is.
The anime studio.
Oh, really?
Sony anime, he's was wildly successful in the business world, so it worked out for him too.
Wow, way to go, Colin.
Yeah.
How many albums did you put out back then, before Colin broke up?
I mean, it was 2 full lengths and a EP.
Okay, so then the Shelia Divine is done.
Yeah,
you guys are oh well, I guess we're all gonna go get jobs.
Yep.
What are you qualified to do at this point?
At the time, nothing.
Awesome. That's really cool.
Work at a cafe.
So what did you do?
I made cappuccinos.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I like cappuccinos. They're delightful.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is before oat milk though. So,
what a weird time bookmark.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. It was only when it was like, do you want it with skim milk, 2%, or whole?
Oh, look at that. He added on a Boston accent just for
That's
that.
right.
That's cool.
That's right, kid. Welcome to Beantown. I was doing that, and then I started working on, I'm not going to stop making songs. So I originally just went in the studio with a friend. I wanted like Bright Eyes or something. Like I didn't want to just be my name. So I picked Dear Leader,
Okay, where does that name come from?
like Kim Jong-il of North Korea.
Jesus Christ. Okay, and where did you get the name?
I just liked it because it was like, the lore around him, which is just like,
Sure.
he was born and a white dove flew over the mountain, a rainbow, it's like all this like ridiculous stuff.
So where did you get the name The Sheila Divine?
I went to college with a woman named Sheila Divine.
Shut up.
Yeah, we just picked it like stupidly. And then when we got signed, the label's like, that makes no sense. So they put a "the" in the front.
So you were just Sheila Divine?
Yeah.
These three dudes is Sheila Divine?
It's so stupid.
Cool.
It's the worst. But a Sheila in Australian is like a young girl. And so it's like, this divine girl,
Oh
so.
my God. Way to make lemonade.
Totally.
So what did Sheila think about you naming us a highly successful band after her?
She thought it was hilarious. She comes to the shows in New York still.
When they card her, do they go, get the fuck out of here?
I don't know.
You know they do. That is amazing. Okay, so tell me about Dear Leader. So you started this, it was just you and a friend?
It was just me, like my solo project.
Just you. Oh, okay.
I wanted to play out live, so then I had other friends play with me, and then it sort of just became a full-fledged another band. That it just turned into another band.
How many albums did you put out as Dear Leader?
2 EPs, then 1, 2, like 4 regular albums. So yeah, a bunch.
So Dear Leader put out more music than the Sheila Divine up to that point.
Yeah. I write it a fast clip because it wasn't a touring thing. So it was more of like a recording thing. So it was just more.
Sure.
Yeah.
You had a lot more time if you weren't driving a bus. Why didn't you quit music after your experience with the Sheila Divine and seeing how hard it was? Why didn't you just quit? There's a lot of quit in America. Why didn't you just quit?
Because I'm a songwriter. Like that's what I do. I'll never stop that. It's definitely my therapy or my pastime. It's just the thing I like to do is make songs. As it's gone on, like I kind of like got to the point where I was just like making stuff and putting it out and not really like I have no plan. And I feel like in the past year, which we can get to, but like I've put more effort into the other stuff around it to try to bring it back to like a level that I want it to be. But
what does that mean, the other stuff around it?
Like doing more shows, having like a business plan behind it, like thinking through like how can I make this like bigger than just putting music out into a void, which is what I've been doing. Like over COVID, I released like 80 songs.
So like music support, like that kind of a thing? Like
publicity, a booking agent, have a plan of how you're going to put out the songs in a row to make like the algorithm work.
And why did you decide to take it a little more seriously this go round?
Well, I was out of work for a little bit, so...
It's funny you say that because I listened to a bunch of interviews with you, and they're from all kinds of years ago. Like, there's some from like 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 8 years ago, all this stuff. And every single time in that interview, you say the phrase, I currently have no job.
I don't.
And I'm just like, has this guy ever worked? Like, what's going on?
It's true. It's terrible.
And all of this that you're talking about, this recent, I guess, taking the music a little more seriously with some support behind it, is that Dear Leader or the Sheila Divine or both?
No, now it's Sheila Divine.
Okay, now. Oh, you have to say the.
Yeah, the Sheila Divine with an I.
Oh, that hurt.
No.
You got me right in the jugular.
I decided that this go around that like anything I do from now on is going to be the Sheila Divine, like whatever my music project is, because another part of the reason I haven't put as much effort is because, like my drummer Ryan, or the one who was playing originally in Sheila Divine. Well, there's so many different members, but for the past 10 years, he lives in Maine, way up in Maine. My guitarist Brian, he owns a recording studio, super passionate about that, and works 7 days a week. And so it was me not doing the band because no one else could give it the time. So I would do all these like little side projects. And then I just decided that I write everything in the Sheila Divine anyways, like I should be using it. So I've just assembled a band that whoever I want to collaborate with at that time, that will be who the Sheila Divine is. Sort of like Spoon and Brit, you know.
Got you. Now, a while back, I heard you say that you'll probably never make another Sheila Divine record. And that was, I want to say 2019, something like that.
Totally.
That turned out not to be true. Why?
The record I just put out was going to be a different thing. And then I just decided to make it a Sheila Divine record, even though it's just me.
Okay, let's talk about COVID. You said you put out 80 songs, or I'm sorry, you wrote like 80 songs. Did you put them out?
Yeah, it was on Bandcamp. I would write, record, and put out a song every day during COVID.
Wow. Why? Because you were bored?
Yeah, I don't know. Just that was my thing.
How did that go? How did it turn out for you?
It was awesome. It was like 4-tracking or like demoing.
Still sounds like a full-time job to me.
Oh, it was. People were supporting it for a while. So it was like actually like, I mean, not a real living, but more than I thought I would make from it. You know, the whole idea with that was like, I was learning how to record because I had never really done that. And then I would be like, tonight I'm going to try to write a song that's like the Sex Pistols. Tomorrow I'm going to write a song that's like the band Ride or like Neil Young. And I would just try to like use that vibe and then write a song and use that in instrumentation. So it was very fun.
Hey, Streetwalkers, here's a word from our sponsors.
Karen Silkwood had a purpose. She was headed to a crucial meeting that would blow the whistle on the billion-dollar nuclear corporation she worked for. Instead, she died in a concrete culvert on a dark, desolate stretch of highway just outside of Crescent, Oklahoma. To discredit her, authorities and the institution Karen sought to expose called her nothing more than an emotionally disturbed and sexually promiscuous drug abuser. But in her death, she became a martyr for feminism, environmentalism, and pro-labor movements. From the creators of Gone Cold, Texas True Crime comes Silkwood, a story that remains one of the most explosive conspiracies in 20th century America and became the inspiration for a critically acclaimed movie. Silkwood dives deep into 28-year-old whistleblower Karen Silkwood, her relentless fight for truth, and the chilling events that followed. Betrayal, danger, and a mysterious unsolved death that still haunts the nation 5 decades later. Seeking justice, Karen went up against a corporate Goliath and paid the ultimate price. With no known witnesses, what happened to Karen Silkwood on that cold November night? Was it an accident? Was she silenced for knowing too much? Or something far more sinister? In a world where profits are placed above safety, Silkwood takes you inside a gripping true tale of corporate greed, government cover-ups, and the deadly secrets inside a nuclear industry titan. Don't miss this eye-opening journey into one of the most powerful stories of our time. Find Silkwood on your favorite podcast platform and hit that subscribe button now. Some secrets are too dangerous to stay hidden.
Let's get back into it.
How did you come to know John Graziano?
I didn't know this at the time, but he had recorded us way back in the day. Like he worked in film production and he had shot a music video for us. Like he was like part of like a crew, but I don't know. He was in that show making fun. He was also a fan and also roommates with my current person I collaborate with, this guy, Stephen Lord. And so he came to a show and then like my girlfriend's kids were like, hey, that's the guy from Making Fun. And then it just turned into a thing. And then we started hanging out.
And then he was like, holy shit, you're the guy from the Sheila Divine.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he was like, holy shit, you're the guy from Aaron and the Lord.
That's right. And then I was like, whoa, you make chef's knives? I love to cook.
Do you have one?
Oh, yeah.
Holy balls. Those are ungettable, everybody. Wow. He's got such a long list of people he's making those for.
Yeah, he gave me one of his prototypes because he went for a thinner blade and they're amazing.
Are they sick? They look sick as hell.
It's definitely worth it.
Do you have a Wu-Tang pizza cutter?
No, that's not my vibe.
What? Oh my gosh.
I mean, I love Wu-Tang. I just don't want a Wu-Tang pizza cutter.
Sure. I mean, it's frameable. Nobody would use that. It's too pretty. Let's talk about this thing you just recently did. I think it was recent. Did you cut a deal with your entire catalog with somebody? Is it a distribution deal? You didn't sell your catalog. What did you do with your catalog?
No, nothing.
What?
No, nothing. I don't know what that is.
'Cause I don't, man, I feel like you were putting something together and then that's how you figured out that you wrote like 180 songs.
Mm-mm. I wish that was the thing.
No, I'm just crazy.
Yeah. I want someone to give me a publishing deal. I own my whole catalog, so.
Do you own it all by yourself?
Well, I feel like if you're in a band, you have to like split things with people.
You have to break some off. But now that you're the Shelia Divine all by yourself, everything from a certain time period is just all you?
Yeah, I feel like when you're in the weeds doing all the dirty work, you got to have some of the action. Otherwise, there's no money in it.
Sure.
And there's still no money in it. I get checks for like $2.
Oh, nice. Let's talk about your new album.
Okay.
What's it called?
I Am the Darkness, We Are the Light.
When did this come out? October?
On Halloween.
On Halloween. So
Yeah.
why? Why this album?
Why?
Yeah. Why did you decide to put out this album? How many albums did you put out in 2024?
None. Just this album.
Okay. Just this one. Why?
I've had it for over a year done. It was originally going to be an Aaron the Lord record, but I just felt like if I did that, it wouldn't get heard. And I really liked it. So I was like, I really want to make something that at least will have some chance of getting heard.
Tell me about what you're doing to get this out there. What kind of marketing or promotion? Are you touring this? What are you doing with this album?
You know, I'm playing New York and, you know, doing the Buffalo, doing a European tour in May. So, I mean, doing some stuff, but, you know, I still have a job and other stuff to not warrant going full bore.
Is your job in marketing or advertising?
Yes.
It is. Has that helped you at all in your musical endeavors?
Not really. The only money I've ever made from music was a Dear Leader song got in a Cadillac commercial.
Oh my God. Was that a big fat paycheck?
That was.
How did that happen?
Just a person I knew from advertising submitted it amongst, you know, 4 other songs, and we got it because we were like the cheapest.
What was the song?
It was Raging Red. It's a Dear Leader song, and it was in a Kate Walsh Cadillac commercial.
Jesus. Wow. Check you out.
That was cool. That was a nice, I mean, it's not like an insane amount of money, but for me, it was like the only real check where I was like, oh, I can like pay off some college loan. Yippee.
This new album.
Yes.
What is your favorite track off this new album? I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Which one of your children is your favorite?
Right. I mean, Lilydale is probably one of my favorites. It's just a different kind of song, I think, than I've written, and I feel like it has a little bit of a Neil Young tinge to it. Do you know Lilydale? It's a spiritualist medium community near where I live in Buffalo, or where I lived in Buffalo.
Are you fucking with me? That's a real thing?
No. Yeah, it's a whole town of mediums. So like people from all over the world go there, and it's like basically the best of the best in the world live in this community. It's pretty insane.
Feel free to say no, but can I play that song?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, you can play anything. Like it's like I'm not on a label, so anything you want to use.
Will you do me a favor?
Sure.
Will you introduce that song like you're a radio DJ?
Yeah. Hey, it's Aaron from the Shelia Divine, and you're listening to my song Lilydale, which is all spooky. Off the album I Am the Darkness, We Are the Light on the Fascination Street podcast.
It's green, I'm overwhelmed. I bleed on broken shells. Don't carry fire
So you're going to tour this album in Europe.
A little bit.
So when are you going to Europe? When's the European part of the tour?
In May. I just got like a new agent.
A booking agent?
Yeah. And so we're going to, like, I think we're doing Italy and some other fun countries.
Are you going to do Belgium?
Yes, absolutely.
You have to, right? I mean, duh.
That's every time.
That's the only reason we're going to Europe.
Yeah.
Okay. So when are you coming to Austin or San Antonio? Come on down, bro.
We did apply for South by Southwest. So if we get into that, we're going to do that. So that would be in March. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, and it doesn't make sense to like go on a very long tour, but I would like to do, some key dates and stuff.
Do you have plans to do any music videos, or do people still do music videos?
There's a video for Lilydale, and there's a video for I Know There's Happiness off this record.
Oh, rad.
Just no one's watching them.
Oh, cool. Where would somebody watch them?
They're on the YouTubes.
They're on the YouTubes. Is there a Sheila Divine YouTube channel?
Yep.
Is it the Sheila Divine on YouTube?
That's right. Yep.
Is there a Dear Leader YouTube channel?
No, I don't think so. We never really made videos.
Okay. All right. Where are you seeing the most traffic? Like, are you seeing it from iTunes, Spotify? Are people just downloading it from your website?
Probably Spotify. But I always push people to Bandcamp just because.
Because Spotify doesn't pay you for shit?
Well, like, at least I get a little bit of a cut from that.
So you push them to where, Bandcamp?
Yeah, the SheilaDivine.bandcamp.com.
What about Dear Leader? Same place?
Yeah, I mean, Dear Leader doesn't exist anymore, so
I know, but there's a catalog for Dear Leader. Where would those songs be?
Yeah, I mean, it's on Spotify and all that.
Man, you really got to go back to marketing school or some shit. You're just like, nah, that's it. I don't do that. No, that's over. No, I don't. Come on now. You got to push all that.
Yeah,
you've got a huge body of work. You got to push it.
I know. I got to compile it into one.
How many songs do you think you wrote?
So hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah. How many have you not released? Are you like Prince, where you just have a whole room of shit you never released?
I do have a lot of stuff I haven't released for sure.
Is it because you're lazy, or it's just too much stuff?
No, just like stuff I haven't like finished or gotten over the edge.
Are you going to make this new album a vinyl record?
Yes, it's in the process.
And these things will be for sale at thesheiladivine.com?
Yeah, on Bandcamp.
You're really pushing this Bandcamp thing.
Another thing I should have is a Sheila Divine website.
You don't have that? I don't know if I have said this yet, but you need to go back to marketing school. Come on, bro.
Yeah, it's like, who goes to websites? It's like
people who want to buy shit. Do you know that what's that guy's name? Before he got canceled, there was a comedian named Louis C.K.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, I know. And he did that video, like the thing where, I do know that.
$5 he sold that, and he had $1 million over the weekend.
Yeah.
Because people went to, because he didn't have to give a cut to Spotify or Bandcamp or anybody.
Yeah.
You know that you have tons of fans that are devotees of yours. So why wouldn't you drive them somewhere where you don't have to share the profits? You're killing me, Aaron.
I know.
You're killing me.
I know.
Speaking of killing me, I want you to tell me your experience. I have been a backer of a lot of Kickstarters. Tell me about your Kickstarter experience.
It was in the early days of Kickstarter, so it was definitely like before a lot of the whatever crowdsourcing thing. It was fun. I mean, it was cool. Like,
what was the idea? What was the conceit?
That we would write and record an album like live online, and people could tune in and watch the process, comment on stuff, maybe tell us what to play. So that was sort of the idea. And then they get a vinyl at the end of it.
Remember, I said I've been a part of a lot of Kickstarters, and a ton of them don't make it to the end part. Did you guys make it to the end part?
We did. It was a pain, though, I will say. Like, that's probably why I don't have a website now. It's like just like dealing with sending out 400 albums across the world and shipping stuff, and then being like, "Oh, I moved, I didn't get it," and like, "Oh, it's like you're just like, oh, I can't deal with this." But
you can get somebody else to do that stuff for you, right?
Yeah, I probably could. Yep.
All right, cool.
I need to drop ship everything.
Just put some processes in place, bro. You're leaving everything on the table. Come on.
I know.
You are killing me.
You're convincing me.
I'm sure I'm not, because I have a history of not convincing people to do shit.
No, you are.
Earlier, you let me play that song, Lilydale.
Yeah.
Can I play my favorite Sheila Divine song?
What is it?
What does it matter? No, I'm just kidding. I really, 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 really vibe with Like a Criminal.
Yeah.
I don't know why I love that song so much, but in the last 4 days, I've probably heard that song 50 times. It doesn't make my blood boil, but it makes me feel alive.
Huh.
I know that doesn't make any sense, but can I play that song? That song is dope as hell.
Yeah, I don't own that one. Like that one's still like the label has, but I don't care. I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna like. It's not like it's like in demand. I would do it, and then like if they tell you like whatever. But yeah, I'd say go for it.
Okay, so what's going to happen is I release my episodes on YouTube, just the audio version. It's just like a still picture, and then it'll be the audio.
Yeah.
I think I've released like 400 and maybe 50 episodes, and probably 425 of them have been demonetized due to a copyright violation.
Oh, yeah. Well, then I would say
I'm going to anyway, because even if I don't, they're going to demonetize it because I play Lily Dale. They will. They just will.
Oh, that sucks.
It doesn't matter. Like, I interviewed Don McLean. You know who he is?
Yeah.
And he says, Steve, you can play anything you want. I own everything. Demonetized instantly. I mean, instantly.
Wow.
The same thing with the dude from Blue Oyster Cult, the bass player. Like, instantly demonetized. I was like, no, but they said they're like, they don't care. They have a bot that if they sense music, then they tell you to fuck off. So I'm going to enjoy it.
All right.
Cool.
Well, then I would just say put it on then.
Thank you. I will wait for you. Cease and desist from Roadrunner Records.
No, they don't even own it anymore. It's like at Rhino or something or some other subsidiary.
So whoever owns it doesn't even know they own it?
Pretty much.
Cool. I'm not worried. They're not going to come get me. They don't even know where I am.
That's right.
Aaron, this is going to sound crazy, but I don't really feel like we got to most of the things that I wanted to talk about.
Oh.
I mean, we got to a good part of it, but you know what that means.
We'll do it again.
You're going to have to come back.
All right. I like it.
How about this? You're doing the tour, did you say in May?
Yeah. Come back after that.
How about you come back after that and we'll talk all about your exciting world travels.
All right.
All right.
I like it.
What do you think? What do you think? You like that? Is that cool?
I do. That sounds awesome.
Do you have t-shirts?
Yes. I need to make more, though. Some more good ones.
And so if somebody wanted a t-shirt, they would go to Bandcamp?
Bandcamp. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. I'm going to tell Grass to make you a website.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aaron Perrino from the Shelia Divine and Dear Leader and Aaron and the Lord. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day and your hectic songwriting nonstop schedule to hang out and let us get to know you a little bit better on Fascination Street, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve. It was fun.
It was 100% my pleasure, and you have a great rest of your week.
You too.
Dude, thank you. I really, really appreciate it.
You got it.
Hey, you're a fucking rock star. I don't care what you say.
I appreciate it.
All right? You need to get that confidence up, my man.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Steve.
man.
Right, bye.
Bye. Opening music is the song FSP Theme, written, performed, and provided by Ambush Vin. Closing music is from the song Say My Name off the 2021 album Underdog Anthems, used with permission from Jax Hollow. If you like the show, tell a friend, subscribe, and rate and review the show on iTunes and wherever else you download podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. All the episodes are available there as well. Check me out on Vero at Fascination Street Pod and TikTok at Fascination Street Pod. And again, thanks for listening.